Turn this thing on. Hey, everybody. What's up? Ron Harris here. Friday afternoon. I often do these Ask Rons on Friday afternoon. So yesterday we found out, and I apologize for not reporting on it yesterday, that Sergio Oliva Jr. did make it from the United Arab Emirates to California to compete in the California Pro. I'm doing this at a little after 2 p.m. on Friday afternoon. He was just added to the official competitor list within the last hour. And obviously they were going to it's not like they weren't going to let him compete. You know, it's funny because it wasn't that long ago that you couldn't pros couldn't just jump into a show last minute like that. They had to, at the very beginning of the year, submit a list of all the competitions that they were going to compete in for the year, a year ahead of time, and sign contracts to compete in those, which were binding. And they could only get out of it with a legitimate medical excuse. And if they didn't do the competition, they were fined. They were given fines. It happened a few times. Anyway, Sergio Oliva is here. He's in the Cali Pro. Jose Raymond and I did a very cool preview, I thought, that was out yesterday. And at the time, we did not know. It's on this channel. We did not know that Sergio was in the show. We were hoping and praying because, of course, everybody wants to see Sergio compete. He's one of the best. And he hasn't been on stage since the fall of 2021, or was it winter? 2021 Legion Sports, which was held 2 weeks after that year's Olympia. I believe it was winter time. But anyway, it's been well over a year and a half since he's been on stage. He's been in Dubai, United Arab Emirates since then, making good improvements. He's looking phenomenal. So he's been posting lots of progress pics. He's somewhere in the 280s, I think around 285. Massive guy. Sergio's about 6 foot, 6'1". Super wide shoulders, very big dude, very good shape, massive arms, massive legs, shoulders, gets into really good condition. Now that's the thing that's a slight concern. Slight is that he just got here yesterday. It's about an 18-hour flight, I believe, all the way from Dubai to California. Got to go all the way over here, over there, over there. Anyway, yeah, it's a long, long flight. And flying from the Middle East to the USA or any long distance like that, you do risk a lot of water retention. This is what happened to Hadi Chupan a couple times when he wasn't able to get to the Olympia until the very last minute. And we saw where Hadi was holding a lot of water for him Friday night at judging, and then he would come back. Hadi would dry him out. He would come back Saturday night. Now, I don't know if this is the case. Sergio might be dry and crispy. Who knows? I hope he is. I want to see Sergio at his very best because Sergio should be, at this point in his career, top 5 in the Olympia every year. I'm not saying he should be Mr. Olympia because, you don't want to say anybody should be Mr. Olympia. There's a lot of great guys out there fighting for that title. So he should be one of them, though. He should be in that mix. And, I think he's like 38 now. He's getting up there. He's not an old man. He's not middle-aged yet. But, time goes by. Time goes by. You don't have forever to be a great pro bodybuilder. It's a human body. It has its prime, and then the prime's over, and, you missed your window. He still has time, Sergio, but he doesn't have any time to lose. So should he win this, he picks up his Olympic qualification, and maybe he'll do Toronto too. I don't know. I mean, he made it. He came all the way over here, all the way over from Dubai. So I would. But, this was supposed to be a rematch between Beef Stew and Antonio from New York Pro, and they will still get a rematch at each other. But now they have Sergio Oliva Jr. in the mix, who's made it much more interesting. They also have a couple other guys. I don't know everyone on the list. I'm not familiar with Ross Flanagan. Very good. Messed up his debut last year, but, I've been following his progress. Sung Chul Lee from Korea. If that guy's in great shape and has good color, he's definitely a threat. But it does look like top 3, I'll say it right now, is probably going to be between Sergio, Tonio, and Stu. Also want to let you know, I did a really cool interview with Beef Stew only about an hour and a half ago. It's going to be up on this channel shortly if it's not up already. We're posting simultaneous videos, so it might be up by the time I'm with this. It might be posted, so check that out. Beef Stew. We talked about. We went over the New York Pro. How happy or so on he was with his performance there, his look there, any adjustments he's made this past week for the Cali Pro. Thoughts on the rematch between him and Tonio, and of course the thoughts on last minute entry of Sergio Oliva Jr. But that's the big story, man. Sergio Oliva Jr. I selfishly I'm upset with Sergio because I wanted to see him in New York, and he didn't make it to New York. How do I get out of this thing? My ad center. Even I have to deal with all these ads, guys. So let's see what you guys have to say. Let's go to the phones. Just a little TRT. What's your thoughts on Mark Lovelaner's first pro show at the New York Pro? Mark looked fantastic. Condition was amazing. Mark's got, regular human genetics. He doesn't have like a Tony Burton genetics. He's never going to look like that. Considering the guy's, running multi-million-dollar businesses, has 3 kids he's very active in their strength coaching, goes to all their games for their sports, and he finds the time to get ready to do a pro bodybuilding show. Hats off to Mark. But yeah, I mean, his arms, and I can say this because my arms have been a weak point were a weak point my whole career. They still are, but I'm not competing. Doesn't have the best arms. Legs don't have much of a sweep. But he has, very dense muscle. You can tell he trains super hard. You can tell he diets very, very strictly. Rich B, yeah, Ron. Hopefully Sergio brings that Instagram condition. If so, I got Sergio winning. And that being said, in second place will be a battle between Antonio and Mo Shaban. Appreciate you, Ron. I heard Mo's doing the show, but I haven't seen him on the list yet either. Is he on the list now? Because I just checked the list like 5 minutes before we started this. Mo's very good. Obviously, we know Mo's very good. That spinning circle. Hopefully this is transmitting okay because I see the spinning circle up there on my computer screen. Huh. Yeah, we're streaming, guys. We're streaming. We're live. Live TV, guys. Live YouTube TV. Guarido Nutricionista will be a good battle between Antonio and Shaban. Oh, I guess I'm going to open up another window and check the list. So what we do here is we go to ifbbpro.com. Okay, I'm going to ifbbpro.com. There's a little rotating section at the top with the different shows. Nevada State, Omaha Pro, 25 between 3rd, Miami, Muscle Beach. Okay, so let's go to the official competitor list. Yeah, right now Mo Shaban is not on the list. We have 13 gentlemen, 13 men. It's only open men. And Sergio Oliva Jr. was only added within the last hour. As of right now, Shaban is not on the list, but yeah, with the last-minute nature of the way shows are these days, he could very well be on that list in the next few minutes. Who knows? But if you guys have an inside tip, if he's been posting saying he's doing the show, it's not like a promoter's going to turn anybody away saying, no, we don't want you in our show. Come on now. Of course they're going to let anybody that wants to compete. Greg Ulysse, Mo Shaban is in the show, I believe. Yeah, so I guess he's been saying it on social media, but he didn't bother to inform the promoters ahead of time. He didn't, or else he would be on that list. Eastern E. Yeah. Mode Shahir. Nick Trigilli is back on YouTube. What are your thoughts on him? Well, I mean, Nick, he does a phenomenal job. You can't hate on the guy. He's a very hard worker. He puts out great content. He's got an engaging personality. People love him. And his new channel was doing very well immediately. He got great views immediately. So, I shy away from a lot of the things that he talks about. He reports on things that I would consider maybe negative, shining a bad light on the sport. But, you could say, well, you need to show the good and the bad. Maybe I avoid exposing the dark side of bodybuilding too often. Maybe I'm erring on that side too much. I don't know. Sergio is a drama queen. Well, says Arnold, not the Arnold. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He's been known to make emotional posts in the heat of emotion. And yeah, so, but it's either that or would you rather he be quiet and just kept his mouth shut? I mean, a lot of guys do that. Varangian Vigilante. Sergio Oliva Jr. has naturally a name that draws eyes to his show. I really hope in the future he can walk out of the shadow of his legendary father. I think he's done that already. I think he's established himself. Obviously he hasn't won 3 Olympia titles like his dad, but that was a different era. I mean, Sergio won one of his Olympias with literally nobody showed up to compete against him. He showed up, I think he did his routine, they gave him his trophy, and peace out. Things were very different. There were Olympias back in like the 60s and 70s. Sometimes there'd be like 3 guys in the Olympia, 4 or 5 guys in the Olympia. Go look at musclememory.com is a good way to check the Olympia score sheets. They don't have score sheets, but the results from Olympias. You can go all the way back to the first Olympia, musclememory.com, and you'll see Sergio didn't really compete against a ton of people. The Olympias are much more competitive now. There's way more pro bodybuilders now than there were in his dad's day. So it's much harder to be a top bodybuilder when there's thousands and thousands of pros versus back then. There were probably like a dozen pro bodybuilders in the world. and the USA and the Nationals, they turn like 60 people pro, different divisions, but like 60 people walk away from that show with pro cards. 60, 6-0, not 6, not 16 either. Let's see. Ron, you look jack, bro. Take care, bro. I am. I just got some blood work done. Everything's cool. My test level was down to 1,500 though. Oh no. Varangian also says Joe Weider did handpick the winners. One could say that Arnold should have not beat Sergio at least one more year. Yeah, the 72 Olympia in Munich, Germany, was the one that a lot of people point to as a show where Sergio did beat Arnold, but Arnold ended up winning. I think Joe did handpick the winners, honestly. We can even go back to Leveroni Kevin Leveroni has said several times on record, so I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, that Joe Weider told him, I can't let you win the Mr. Olympia. I need Dorian to be Mr. Olympia so I get the European market. So right there, he was telling him it wasn't real an actual athletic competition. It was part of his marketing scheme for his supplements and his equipment and all that stuff, which, I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Let's see. Mod Shahir. Sergio said on Olympia TV that right now it's the easiest time to win the Mr. Olympia title. Do you agree? Personally, don't, because the top 6 is way too competitive. It's not the easiest time. The easiest time would have been like when I said back in the old days when there was like 2 to 5 guys in the show. This last Olympia had like 32 guys. I mean, it's very competitive at the top. Rami's having a tough time trying to get his title back. You got Hadi, Derek, Nick Walker. Where's my whole list? I keep the Olympia list handy. The top for the Olympia. Yeah, Hadi, Derek, Nick, Brandon Curry's still up there. Rami's still going at it. We got Samson coming back this year. He didn't miss a year, but I'm saying he's coming in now as the Arnold champ. Hunter Labrada, Andrew Jacked. Bonnick is going to sit out this year. Raphael, Ian. Krizo should be looking much improved this year. I saw some shots where he was looking just crazy shredded. He's doing the French show, the M-Pro show in 2 weeks. Patrick Johnson, Charles Griffin, Justin. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of really good talent at the Olympia. It's easier to win the Olympia now than maybe, say, when you had Dorian, Ronnie, Flex Wheeler, Chris Cormier, Nasser. There were tougher eras, to be sure, where the top 10 was much more competitive, but it's still a very difficult show to win. And you know what? Sergio should be in that Olympia every year. He should not have missed any. He should be in the Olympia. He should be fighting for that title, and not because of his name or a legacy or anything like that, just because he's a damn good bodybuilder. He's got a great physique, and he's been at it for a minute. He turned pro back in 2015, I think it was. So, yeah, I hope this is his year. I hope he really puts it together. I'd like to see him win this. No offense to Tony or Stu. Love to see him win this. Chill out. Go back to Dubai, whatever. Prepare and come back to Olympia just looking lights out in November, Orlando at the Olympia. Let's see. Arnold says, we need Ron, Jose, Giles pose down someday like a 2004 Olympia. The way Gunther, Jay, and Mr. Lightweight has done. Well, Jose would kill us both in any pose down. Even when he's a little downsized now, he's still way more jacked than Giles or I. Jose was an Arnold Classic champion. He's got 12 pro titles, 2 New York pro titles. Jose has got an amazing physique. Giles has won some shows. I've won a couple shows, but Giles and I are at a similar level to each other as far as the level that we accomplished. National. He competed at the European level, but Jose is a legend. He's a legend in the sport. So I'm not posing down against Jose. Varangian says Arnold moved from Thai to Munich, so Munich was pretty much a home crowd for Arnold. Oh, Thal was Austria, the town in Austria. I don't think it was a crowd. I don't think the crowd had anything to do with that Munich Olympia. That's the one where they had a black backdrop, which you guys are always crying for. We need a black backdrop again. And the judges told Sergio Oliva Jr. after the show, it really hurt him that the background, he blended into the background because his skin was so dark. I mean, that's kind of a racist thing to say, and it's kind of a bullshit excuse to give somebody for not letting them win, not choosing them as the Olympia champ. You look pretty good, but your skin was too dark and it blended into the background, where Arnold's nice pasty white complexion stood out in bold relief. So we went with Arnold. Again, some baby back bullshit happened back in the day. Streaming fine, thank you. Nick just got banned again on YouTube. Again, what did he do now? What the hell did he do? I mean, you'd think he'd be very cautious. But you know, it's like anything. He can come back with another channel tomorrow. You know, he's good. He's very good at what he does, so he's not going away. You know, and I don't wish any ill on him. I got along fine with Nick back. He was with MD for a minute, and you know, he sent in his column. He used to do a monthly column, a monthly Q&A thing, and he sent it in. He wrote it himself. He's a very intelligent guy. So yeah, I wish him the best. Let's go. Let's see. Varangian's more on the Nick Trigilli. If he opened a new channel without the okay of YouTube, what the hell do you think? Well, how can you open a YouTube channel without? There are other platforms other than YouTube, but I think, you know, he was back on YouTube. Are you sure he's off? Mod Shahir, Nathan Dash are coming back this year too. He's going to do 4 shows in Europe this season. He's going to steal someone's spot in that top 10 this year. I mean, Nathan's another guy, like, he's been away from the stage even longer than Sergio. He should be in the Olympia. He should be top 5 in the Olympia every year by this point. And he's damn good. I saw him win New York Pro. He won the Cali Pro the next year. This is a few years ago. Yeah, he's got hella physique, Nathan. Beautiful physique. Great shape. Those round muscle bellies, little tiny waist. Yeah, and he should be up there. So glad to see him back. Eastern, I think they banned him for life years ago. At least that's what I heard. You talking about Nick Trigilli? They don't ban people for life. He's doing well on Rumble? No, he has his own channel. He has another channel. It wasn't called Bodybuilding and Bullshit. It was called like Bullshit and Bodybuilding. It was something very similar. Are you sure he doesn't have? I can't look on my phone because I'm using my phone to stream, but I'm pretty sure he's still around. Huh. I'll tell you right now. Let's see. Bullshit. What was it called? No, it's not Bullshit. What's the name of his new channel? Does anybody know? Help me out here. Help me out, guys. I need your help. You guys are really good. I'll look it up and see if he's got it. BS in Sports. Oh, you just checked it got banned? No. What did he get banned for? Do you know? I mean, you got to really... YouTube has... It's got a lot of rules and guidelines, but you really have to be flagrantly flouting the rules to get banned. I mean, showing like full nudity and too much cursing, I guess. But you'd have to really go out of your way to get banned by YouTube. They're pretty permissive. You know, they just don't. They try to keep it like a family friendly platform. They don't want, you know, little 8-year-old Johnny. It's always Johnny, isn't it? Little 8-year-old Johnny clicking on YouTube and seeing like full on porn or something. Even though, unless the parents have a block on, it's not like little Johnny can't find Pornhub. Variant says some people are too low profile to appear on the radar of YouTube. Nick doesn't exactly keep a low profile. Yeah, but what do you do to get banned? I'm saying they don't ban people like for no reason. You have to have violated the community guidelines, or, you know, did he say don't get vaccinated or something? I'm a little late to the party with that joke, huh? But for a while, you couldn't say anything about the vaccines, anything negative toward the vaccine, or about the way that the CDC was handling the lockdown, the pandemic, the virus, all that. You couldn't say anything against any of that, or else they would pull you off. Facebook would ban you. Facebook still ban. I remember Facebook one time. This is about 2 years ago. In the middle of it all, the pandemic everyone was still, you know, it was full blown pandemic still going on. I posted on private a picture just so I could grab it for something else. A lot of times I post pictures to my Facebook, but I make them private just so I can grab the picture. It's easier for me to get them to my phone that way. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it was a picture just of that spore-looking coronavirus. Just, you know, the ball with the spikes, the red-orange ball with the spikes coming out of it. The virus. And I got banned for 48 hours for, it said like misinformation. It said misinformation. It was a private post. It was just a picture. But yeah, that's how serious they were about, you know, keeping only one side of the story on Facebook at that time. Eastern E, I'm telling you, I think he's banned for life. So they realized he made another channel and they deleted it. Oh. With their guidelines, they can pretty much ban you for anything they want to. I'm pretty sure a lot of other channels that were not portraying the best life by Nick sent in enough complaints. Yeah, you know, I know it's cool to have freedom of speech and you can talk about anybody you want. That's great, but you really, you have to be very careful because people are vindictive, and if you put someone's dirty business, dirty laundry out there, and they don't want it out there, or you're constantly criticizing someone, or it can be seen as harassment or libel or slander. Which one would be applicable in this circumstance? All you legal experts out there. I mean, if people really felt angry enough and complained enough about his channel, yeah, I guess. I never did. I never complained about it. He never said he used to take a lot of my content and do reaction videos too, which I guess it was cool. It was good because most of the time he would put the link in his description so people could come back and watch my whole video. But I'm like, damn, I wish I could just make, I shouldn't say I wish I could, just make videos taking other people's content and then just commenting on it. It's a lot easier than doing all your own interviews all the time, setting up interviews and all that. You're just taking somebody else's content and making your own spin on it, a reaction video. Okay, YouTube banned Trigilli by saying, our policy says is that you yourself are prohibited to own or create a channel for yourself. That doesn't sound like much of an excuse to me or a reason to ban somebody. Because anybody, it's not my channel, it's MD's channel. I do have a channel I don't use anymore, but I don't want to see people get banned unless it's for a legitimate reason, like they really deserve to be banned. Like they were promoting violence or hatred or something like that. Like I said, I don't know what he did that was so heinous that YouTube felt that they have to get this guy off their platform. But it's I don't want to see anybody lose their means of income. But Nick will be fine. Nick, I remember him saying on several of his videos that he's got like 10 different income streams. He's got real estate, he's got stocks, crypto. He's got all kinds of stuff going on. So, and he can coach people. I'm not worried about Nick. Nick's fine. Nick's doing just fine. I'm someone who has like more of all of my eggs in one basket situation with MD than Nick. Nick has multiple things going on. BS in sports. So, if there's any more questions, guys, I'm going to go walk Branch. Oh, here we go. Varangian. I'm not a fan of Nick, but I highly dislike when people are banned because of their opinions. I don't think people are banned for their opinions. It's when you cross the line and you're either harassing somebody or really speaking ill of somebody in a way that could harm their reputation or their income. And I'm not saying he did that. I don't know if he did that at all. But I'm saying that's when, that it's legitimate excuse to step in and say, you can't have this platform anymore because you're misusing it. You're abusing your exposure here, your voice that you have. People are too soft. Well, yeah, obviously people in 2023 are so soft. Everything offends everybody. It's like you have to be so careful with what you say, what you post. Even if you have a strong opinion about something, it's very easy to you can get canceled, banned. You just have to be hyper vigilant about that, or else you get pulled. Antonio wins. Who wants to bet? What Capone dedication? Is that Zone Capone? I remember Zone Capone from Get Big from years ago. Is that you, Zone, over in Sweden? We don't know that Sergio's going to walk away with this. That's very presumptuous. He's very, very good. He's been top 5 to Arnold. He's won a couple pro shows. But, Tonio is no slouch. Tonio has a beautiful physique. Sergio's much bigger than him. But, Stu was much bigger than him, too. There are a few guys in that show who are, size, massive. They had all kinds of size and weight on them. But Tonio's just got a great physique. It's like a Dexter Jackson with those round, bubbly shoulders, the lats that come out like a cobra, the little tiny waist, the flaring quads. He's no joke. I don't think Sergio's going to walk away with this. I think Tonio's going to give him a fight. I think Stu's going to push him. If Sergio's at his best, I would bet my money on Sergio. Oh, because the beast system. Capone says, no, bro, I'm an aspiring bodybuilder from Macedonia. Just turned 20. Not Zone Capone. Zone Capone would probably be about 60 by now. I don't know. Maybe he's like my age. I don't know. Macedonia was, that's where Alexander the Great was from. He conquered the world at the age of 17 or something? Yeah. I just saw that again on Kunk on Earth. There's a really funny new show on Netflix. It's a limited series. Yeah, I have to actually finish Game of Thrones soon. I'm on halfway through season 7. I'm a little late to the Game of Thrones party, right? What was that? That ended like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. Anyway, so Sergio Oliva, heavy favorite for this show. Tonio Burton is no joke. I would not sleep on him. Sergio needs to be at his best. Everything has to be. He can't be soft from the back and glutes and hams, none of that. We don't know what he looks like exactly. We'll find out tomorrow. If you go to musclecontest.com, you can pick up the pay-per-view and watch it live. Judging is going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific time, USA, which is 2 p.m. for me over here in the U.S. And after judging, we're going to do a wrap-up live here on this channel. I think I'll get Giles in on that. Giles, yeah, you in on this? And then finals are going to be 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And again, we'll do a little wrap-up after the finals are done. Just one pro class, easy show to cover. We don't have to go through all 10 divisions. Much respect to all the divisions, but open bodybuilding, that's my wheelhouse. That's the division I most enjoy watching, reporting on. It's, when I started working in this industry and I was competing, that's all there was men's bodybuilding. There was nothing else. There was no 212, there was no men's physique, there was no classic physique. The only women's division was women's bodybuilding. There was nothing else. There was no women's figure, fitness, bikini, none of that. It was just bodybuilding. Good old days. Capone dedication. Only the sun is old in Macedonia. Greetings, bro. All good to see you. Yeah, so it's north of Greece, I believe. Yeah, you got Greece, and then you got Macedonia right over that, right to the north. If my geography serves me correctly. Yeah, I want to head over to Greece. I'm hoping to get there next year. Dr. T, we do the show every Tuesday morning. He's in Athens, Greece. Every day, Dr. George Tuilatos posts all these awesome pictures. He's going to the beach constantly. Beautiful beaches over there. Of course, I see them from the Mamma Mia movies, but I've always wanted to go to Greece, Athens, see the Parthenon, all the old ruins. I want to head over to Rome, too. Rome and Athens are two places I really, really want to see. They've been on my bucket list for a while, so hopefully next year I get my ass over there. Got to Australia this year, so check that one off. Will you come to India anytime in future? Only if somebody flies me to India. What was that? My computer shut off. Yeah, these are all places I'm going to go on vacation. So places I have that I want to go on vacation. Yeah, I want to go to Greece with my wife. I want to go to Italy. I'd still like to see Tokyo, Hong Kong, Fiji, places like that. There's still a few other places I definitely want to go. I want to see I'd like to see all of Europe eventually. But if I had the opportunity, for sure. If you come to Austria, I'll give you a tour through Arnold's birthhouse. Yeah, I've seen pictures of it. It's pretty dope. In Thal. Yeah. So that's it, guys. I'm going to head out and walk my Branch the Buppas, my little pit bull Labrador mix. So appreciate you guys. Again, we're doing some coverage tomorrow after the judging. We're going to do a little wrap up of the California Pro live right here on this channel. And we're going to do the same thing when finals are over. We're going to wrap up the results, see who won. Was it Sergio? Was it Tonio? Was it Stu? Was it somebody else on that list? Shaban, maybe? Who knows? Some good guys in this show. And of course, on this channel, it might even be up by now. I haven't checked. Let me look. Let me check for you guys. We have a Ronline report that I did with Beef Stew today. We just did it like 2 hours ago, where he wrapped up last week's show in New York. And we talked about this week coming up. So that's on this channel. But you have to have your notifications turned on, guys, on YouTube and on your phone. You got to have them both. It's very important. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys. You all have an awesome weekend. If you're in the USA, have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend.